Hello, everybody. Hello, and welcome back. Just gonna wait for a few more minutes so that others can join us. Please like and share as they come in. Happy Sunday to everybody. Okay, guys, if you can hear me, please do let me know and let's get started. Hello, Uncle Benno. Welcome. Happy Sunday and happy new month to you. How are you and the family? Happy Sunday, sir. Happy Sunday. Good to have you here. Okay, just waiting on a couple of seconds more. I think I'm going to do another 10 seconds and then we'll get started. Welcome, welcome, everybody. Please like and share as you come in. And as you come in, say hello, make friends in the comment section. So, right, okay. I think that 10 seconds. It's good to know, sir. Welcome, sir. I was on your live stream last night. Uncle Benu, I don't know how you do live stream of 2 hours, 3 hours. I fell asleep. I was on your live stream last night till about 2 hours plus, and I'm like, let me go to bed. So I'm sure you guys know why we are here. And if you notice on my channel, I've been talking about this case of Senator Natasha since it came out. And I've been trying to update each and everybody as time goes on because I am super, super interested in that case of Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan and Senator Akpabio. I have been very, very interested in it. Reason being that I'm a Nigerian. Hello, Uncle Patrick. Welcome, sir. Welcome, welcome. Happy Sunday to you, sir. Being a woman as well, and I don't ever see myself in politics, but never say never. In this, in this era that we are all thinking of going back to Nigeria, and I've always said if I ever go back to Nigeria, I need to hold a post that will be getting contracts. So it could be in government or whatever. So right. So when I said I'm super, super interested in this case, and yes, the case of actual XA, I'm going to refer to that because of YouTube policy. And I think Uncle Beno, I think I'm going to chat you up later on. I do some videos about Ottoman people who carry people like that, and YouTube they normally tell me that I can't monetize it. I don't know the problem. Maybe I'm not putting it in the right segment, but yeah, I think I will chat you up about that later on. So I've been following this case, and I just felt that for the fact that this happened to a senator, like in the House of Senate, I want to classify Senator Natasha as one of the big women in Africa because she's in the House of Senate. And I did a video about what people in the House of Senate do. Like they make decisions about the governance of the country. They help push the country in terms of laws, policy. Like they make life like life saving, if I should call it that way, laws, decisions when it concerns Nigeria. So I want to regard them as they know what they're doing. Well, Kensha Kudi, that they have brains. But for something like this to happen to a member of such house, and it's being treated like a fallacy, it's being treated like a clown show, like a circus. It's so disappointing. Okay, super super disappointing. And yes, when this story of Sandra Duru came out, it was a lot, and I was like, no, I can't really cover this because it's super lengthy. But since Senator Natasha came out to speak on Adiola's channel, I felt yes, this is high time. I'm going to be speaking about it. So I actually have a video that is going to go live tomorrow, and that is where I've got time snap of the videos. So that video is going to involve where Senator Natasha made an alleged new allegation of corruption against Senator Akpabio. And I'm sure at some point in this video of Adiola that we're going to be dissecting, I think I have a snippet of that video here. So yeah, welcome everybody. Let's get started. So according to the case of Senator Natasha, based on the video, the first snippet I'm going to be talking about is where Senator Natasha explained our relationship with with Senator Akpabio. Obviously, they used to know each other. Senator Natasha's husband and Senator Akpoti, Senator Natasha Akpabio and Senator Natasha's husband, they are friends because yes, they used to eat, they used to party, they used to do all of these things. So that's where we are getting started from. So this video of Deola Adiola Fayewu. It's a 2 hours, 20 minutes video. We might not cover all today, but I've been able to cut those videos so that we're avoiding adverts and stuff like that. So we're just going to be listening to them. Welcome, Fashion with Lifestyle. So the first part of the video, which I have cut, is about 6 minutes, which is on your screen right now. And this is where Senator Natasha was talking about friends with Akpabio, the good times, the sit-out boss, and also she went on to explain her outburst and how she was invoking her order of privileges, and Akpabio still did not allow her to talk. Instead, he went on to say, obviously did not realize that his mic was on, to say that, oh, she should be, she should be suspended. So let's listen to this part of the video, okay? So it's about 6 minutes long, guys. Hello, Habi, welcome.
Before now, the Senate president and my husband were very good friends, and that accorded us a chance to attend to each other's social functions. And beyond that also, I'm a senator, so he's my, should I say, boss, well, even though we're colleagues. So in the course of work, there are times where I'll have to attend, events, and definitely pictures were taken, and then we have seen all of that in social media. But what I'd like to say is, beyond the pictures, behind the cameras, there's a whole lot that went wrong. And they've been going wrong since, I think, a month of me being in the Senate, which, like I did say, it started on the eve of his birthday in the year 2023. And that snowballed into a lot of unpleasant situations in the Senate there, a lot of which I tend to present before either the courts or the ethics committee or a panel that will be set up to investigate the matters of sexual harassment, which till today I've not been given a chance to tender my evidences. But let us talk about the issue that to many they think is just Natasha being stubborn and refusing to move her seat. If anyone takes or pays a close attention to that video, you will know that there is so much more than meets the eye. It was, I think, the peak of the many shoves that I had received in the Senate. And I told myself, never again, not anymore. And to those who think that it was my outburst that led pretty much to my suspension or my outburst was unruly, I would like Nigerians to know that the outburst was a reaction to the Senate president telling me, telling the sergeant at arms to walk me out and calling on my suspension, which I want people to know that it was premeditated. Maybe if you could play a recap of that so we could have our minds freshened up.
Also, what I'm going to say regards to that nobody, I mean, there's a Yoruba adage here that that a woman does just not react, especially except if there's an instance. So in our own defense, what she's saying to us here was the fact that what actually made her stood her ground was when obviously the mic caught what Senator Akpabio said about, oh, get her to be suspended and stuff like that, knowing fully well, obviously, like I said, Uncle Beno, if you remember yesterday, that as a lawyer, lawyers don't mince their words, and a lawyer who knows what a lawyer who knows her onions, a lawyer who knows our recipe, they will not mince their words. Like, you keep their tap is like overflowing. Nothing can stop their tap from flowing. So I think I understand clearly, obviously, saying that okay, we are colleagues. So hence why I was kind of like shocked in a way that you're both colleagues. Why would they? Because just because you are the president, why would you think you are in the position to say somebody else cannot talk? You're not the one who voted them into the House of Senate. So why say she should not, put across her grievances, and why say she should be moved out? It just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense.
A bit on what happened on that day, which was the 20th of February. Your audio is on mute.
I do have a video from that day, so I'm going to play it, and then hopefully you can, speak to that.
That was where she was reading her order.
Order, please.
Distinguished Chief Whip of the Senate, your point of order is sustained.
Order, please.
Nice to speak from there. That is the order of the Senate.
Sir, order 10 on privileges.
Asha,
Any senator may rise at any time
to
speak upon a matter of privilege suddenly arising, and he shall be prepared to move without notice.
Who is he?
A motion declaring that the content of breach of privilege
Show me the
has
section
been
that allows suspension immediately.
So you can imagine
so Adela, you can see.
You can imagine why she was invoking her own order of privileges. You can hear what Akpabio said there. And also a suspension, like what was that offense? What was that offense that she has committed there that he asked for her to be suspended? What was that offense? In my own opinion, Akpabio actually misused his power. And for the fact, for all I care, they are all colleagues. Just because you are the president is the only thing that is separating you from not sitting in the same sitting area with them. So I'm not into politics. I don't know that well about politics, but I felt like Akpabio actually misused his powers. And I don't know. Why are they, Senate, are they on first name basis? Do they all refer to each other on first name basis? Because you all heard him refer to her as Natasha. This is a married woman. Obviously, in Africa, workplaces, I don't think in most African workplaces in Nigeria, they are on first name basis. Please correct me if I'm wrong. You guys saw how he addressed her. Natasha. Like, so if any of you is well conversant in that aspect, I don't think the calling out or addressing her on first name basis is right, especially as an African being married. Yes, they used to be their friends, but still, I don't think it was a good one. But let's keep listening.
I just had the Senate
Yes,
president.
thank you. Yeah, that's it. So you can see all I was doing at this point was reading my rights as a senator, invoking the order of privilege, which I have it here, which it says that whenever, that's chapter 4, item 9b, whenever a matter of privilege arises, it shall be taken up immediately. All the Senate president need to do at that point was allow me speak.
Absolutely.
And give me a chance to explain why I do not want to change my seat.
Yeah.
Or why I would say, okay, I was not notified about the change of seat, or why I would prefer to retain that seat. He didn't allow me to complete my reading the order. All he said was, Sergeant at Arms, take her out. Clerk, prepare for her suspension. Now, any discerning mind will know that
if that was me, I would turn to Agbero. I will turn to Agbero, especially knowing for a fact that I have not committed any offense and it was not his place to get me out of the Senate. I will have turned Agbero. We go scatter everywhere. I'm just saying.
There was so much more than meets the eye on that day. That means behind there was already
the tension
between us. There was already unspoken situation, a crisis, however you want to say, that people would think it was probably Natasha refusing to move the seat. But no, the Senate president does not have the unilateral powers to suspend the senator right there. And at that point, I have not done anything wrong that warrants him ordering that I should be kicked out as if I was his domestic staff or I was someone below him, or asking that they should prepare for my suspension immediately as if I was his employee and he was going to suspend me. That was it. So it was when I heard this, because apparently he didn't know that his microphone was on when he said they should prepare for my suspension. But I heard that, and that was my response, that I'm not afraid of you. You have done your worst. You have been silenced on the floor. I mean, if you watch the whole, I don't want to repeat that, but that was when my outburst was a reaction to what he already had done. And to think that I was further suspended, as they say, because of my outburst or because I refused to move my seat, it doesn't really tally. Yeah, but I believe that my suspension was largely because I voiced out the sexual harassment, because the suspension came a day after I tendered my petitions.
So guys, so that's that about obviously our friendship with Akpabio. Yeah, they do have friendship, like friends, acquaintances. They go to parties, they take pictures. She already mentioned that in these short clips there, and obviously why she decided to act the way she acted, because yes, for the fact that she has every right to raise issues or to raise a concern about her seat being moved, which according to her, there's a certain process to changing seats, to being notified prior to her coming in, rather than on the day when she was coming. That was when she knew about it. So there's like a process to even the seat changing, but which has not been followed. One thing I found out in Nigeria is that people in power, they often change rules, they often change policies to suit themselves at that moment. But when the table turns, It's something else. So also, yeah, for the fact that she was invoking an order of privileges, I mean, we don't have the red book they are all reading from, but just like she's explained there, that for the fact that she has invoked that order, that Akpabio should have allowed her say what she had to say, but instead, he clearly, and I'm sure you and I agree, that Akpabio clearly misused his power there. So that's part of obviously part of that video interview that she did with Adiola. So I'm going to quickly move on to the next clip. So I'm going to remove this one and I'm going to quickly upload that one into. So the next one we're going to be discussing is the alleged allegation that Senator Natasha made against Akpabio, and yes, she did make that allegation in that live stream.
Ask further, maybe people want to know.
So this is where this is the video, this is part of the clips. Guys, my laptop is screaming, my laptop is shouting right now. I've been the kind of cutting back and forth because I don't want us to spend time on things that are not necessary on this live stream. So the things that we're going to be discussing are things that I feel like is important that we discuss about. So this particular section is where she made the allegation of corruption about reporting progress. And she said, yes, just because she did not talk about it, she felt like she's already made her opinion known to Akpabio that, come, sir, I will not do this. Maybe it's something other people do, but for me, I would not be doing this. So if she's already faced the person who was asking her for the progress report and told him what she would not do, I don't see the reason why she needs to bring that to the public. But yes, it's at the stage whereby everything needs to be thrown into the public. Let the foul yash be open to the street. And I'm sure you and I mean, you agree with me. So Habi says that, Habi said, how has it become the whole Senate again? Exactly. It's even Nigeria against her because yes, there's a case on the 3rd of June. She's been asked to come to court. So I don't understand why. Obviously, in this interview, she went on to say that she does not have an issue with Nigerians. She does not have an issue with Baba Tinubu. She does not have an issue with outsourcing. She has an issue with certain set of people. So I'm sure you agree with me. Akpabio, Senator Redcap, and who again? A few of the people whose names she has mentioned there. Those are the people. And I don't think the thing the issue she's got with these people, I don't think it's got anything to do with Nigerians or it's got anything to do with House of Senate. It's an individual thing because nobody Baba Kurubu assault her. Nobody Baba Kurubu harassed her. So now that they're not making it look like Nigeria versus Senator Natasha is what is beyond my understanding. So obviously I don't get, in a working country, isn't Akpabio supposed to step down? Exactly. Even really within you, if you know you are innocent, you step down to allow that case to be fairly heard. But for the fact that you are not stepping down, it means that you have a hold. You have a hold on those people, and you know that if you should let go of that hold, your secret will be out in the public. That is why I felt like Akpabio is not stepping down. I think I shared a post sometimes ago about there was an employee of Primark made a mess. The CEO of Primark stepped down. It was not the CEO that committed that offense. It was a member of staff. The CEO stepped down after coming out to apologize. That is a business, not to talk of somebody whom is being regarded as number 3. If you really know you're not guilty, in my own opinion, all of the actions of Akpabio so far is screaming guilty. All of his actions since Senator Natasha came out with that allegation is screaming guilty. This is my opinion. You don't have to agree with me, but it's screaming guilty to me. But let's listen to this allegation, this new allegation. That's the video I said is dropping tomorrow, about 10 o'clock tomorrow. So let's listen to it, okay?
Know a little bit about how it feels or how it felt like working with him. Mind you, this is my own, like I always say, whatever I put out are my own views.
Exactly.
My own perception based on how he treated me or how he related with me. I'll just give one incident.
Okay.
And
progress.
3 months into me being the chairperson of the Committee on Local Content, we're in his office. Usually I tend to avail myself to attend some meetings. Maybe he's receiving guests, ambassadors, or dignitaries from agencies or stuff. So I usually attend the meetings. So at one of those gatherings, he then went, Senator Uduaghan, you haven't reported progress. And I was like, reported progress? He said, yes, that
welcome.
I'm supposed to report progress. So I said, okay, give me a few days, I'll report progress. He said, fine. So I went later on, made a PowerPoint presentation of my activities as a chair then, the meetings we've held, the timeline of events, the action plans. And then I went back to him and I was like, okay, sir, I'm ready to tender my progress report. And then he went, okay, where is it? And then I opened my laptop and I was like, okay, this is it. And he laughed. And I was like, oh, why are you laughing, sir? He said, don't I know the meaning of reporting progress? And I said, I thought it's to give you a feedback on my activities so far. And then he now referred me to a senior senator. He said, why don't you go meet this person and let him educate you on what report progress means. So I went to meet the senator and I was like, sir, I usually respect anyone who knows me will know that I respect my colleagues, even though I respect my seniors, even though we're colleagues. So I went, sir, I was told to approach you so you'll guide me on what reporting progress meant. And he laughed. He was like, it means I should give kickbacks to him. I was like, what do you mean kickbacks? He said money. Projects.
Did you guys hear? I was just reading a comment based on that video that I dropped. I think the video already went live on my channel. So somebody was just saying that she was just hearing. Let me quickly read that comment on my page just now. So that this person said she was just referring her experiences, that what do I mean by a fresh allegation? If you listen to this I'm going to allow you to listen to it, but that is kickbacks, which he has just explained now, means money, contracts to him, allegedly. To me, that's allegation of corruption for some dingbats who do not think to that extent. That is what she's trying to say, even though she never used all of her mouth to talk. But in my own opinion, that's an allegation. And Diola actually said that I don't want you. I know there's lots of petition on ground now. I don't want you to be served another petition. So for those who are not thinking the way I'm thinking,
other perks. I was like, how do you mean I need to return? He said, well, as a chairman of committee, and I'm saying this is me. I don't know if this happens to other as a chairman, but if anyone is courageous enough, they could probably speak. So it's more like the Senate president tasking the chairman of all the committees that periodically they're supposed to bring money to him or jobs.
Periodically, they're supposed to bring money or jobs to him, allegedly. So what's that? If they collect salary now, is he not collecting salary? So why is he wanting to be brought? Why is he wanting money or jobs to be brought to him when he's being paid for the job he's doing in the House of Senate? Guys, I hope you understand where I'm coming from here.
And I went, how am I supposed to make money and report to the Senate president? And he said, well, I have to harass the agencies or the ministers that report to me. And for me, since I was chairperson local content, that means I have the Minister of Petroleum. I have also the Minister of Gas, who is the co-chair, who was made later on the co-chairman of the board. Then I also have the Executive Secretary, Engineer Felix. So that means I'm supposed to harass them for returns, to periodically give money to the Senate president or jobs. And I was like, I can't do that.
Exactly.
And they were like, well, that's the norm under him. So I had to. So I later on went to the Senate president. I was like, sir, I understand what report progress means, but unfortunately, I can't do that. I also told my husband that. I was like, wow, so it means it's more like you extort or harass so that you can pacify or parley the Senate president in order to keep your position. So I didn't do that. And he later, a number of times, he was like, Natasha, if you don't know how to harass the chairman, that means you don't, if you don't know how to harass the ministers, that and the executive secretary of local content, that means you're not capable of running the committee. So that means to the Senate president, Akpabio, deliverables are not tied to objectivity and performance. It's more like what returns come to him. And I know a number of times, yes,
that's improper, pretty much telling her that, come, you need to know how to go around, collecting from these people. And when you collect, you bring me my own, allegedly. That's practically what she's explaining there. For the people that led that comment in that video. See, deep thinking goes beyond going to school and collecting certificates.
Told me to invite to bring the chairman, the executive secretary over to him, but I refused. Till date, I never took or I never forced or coerced any of the ministers to meet with him. If they met the Senate president and parlied on their own, that's, I don't know about that, but on me. So that's just to give you an idea of the coercion that happens behind the scene that people don't know. And when people think of, oh, budget padding, that many people do blame the senators. I don't know about it. I've never padded budget, but I've seen the unnecessary pressure that a number of senators have to face, you know, not because they were willing to do it for themselves, but because they have to satisfy some political lords right in the Senate there. So that's just one example of the pressure and what it means to...
Of numerous
and let me say this again. Yesterday, I saw a video of a senator.
Yeah, I think I saw that video as a buyer. I actually didn't take heed of it because I was just like, that man is going to be one of... Akpabio, to me, seems like somebody who will condescend people. And he has to understand that, those people that are in the House of Parliament, they might not be highly educated as him, but they are there for a purpose, to represent their constituencies. So you can't say because you are a learned man, even as a learned man, you seem not to know anything. He seems to be thinking with his backside. But then that what he did to that other man, which Senator Natasha is going to talk about now, it was a very condescending behavior coming from the Senate president of Nigeria.
Senator Sani Musa, who was asked to define what's it called? Harmonization. Harmonize. The word harmonize. I don't know if you saw it, was trending. And I'll say this, Senator Sani Musa is one of the most intelligent senators right there. But I say what I saw there was just the Senate president putting him on the spot. And as a human being, so sometimes when, like, it was an intentional, to me, it's an intentional act to ridicule him. And that's how the Senate president acts sometimes. He just calls on you and makes a joke, makes a remark, and he thinks you should laugh at that remark, because that's happened to me a number of times. Either he objectifies my body, how I look, how I act, how I'm talking, and most of the time it's always sexualized. And that is what people should know, that as a boss, he's not supposed to do that, because we're all colleagues and we all have to be respected. Absolutely. So that's just one part of it, what it means like to work with him.
Absolutely. Okay, thank you so much. Looking at the time, it's no longer on our side. And like I said at the beginning, I want us to cover in all of it. You just made some serious allegations, by the way, which, because I don't want you getting another lawsuit because you came on my show, but you've just made some serious allegations again about the Senate president.
Reporting progress. That's it. He always asks several times. Listen, he said if any senator wants to be honest, they'll say the chairman committee. He's asked me a number of times, report progress, and he's threatening to remove me as a chair. And
report progress, bring my share, allegedly. That's what it means.
Let me say this. I should have probably sent you at the after the groundbreaking ceremony of the 5 million LNG plants. That was what actually, like I said, you know, there was a sexual harassment part, but then it got to a point where if Natasha is going to succeed, she has to succeed under my wings. She can't just be thriving. She won Senator of the Year. She did a fantastic 1-year celebration, all of this, while my success should be connected to his own approvals.
It doesn't have to.
As someone who is involved with him, that's how he wanted it to be. So on the 30th of January, after the groundbreaking ceremony, you know, I was removed as a chairperson 4 days after that. He actually called.
Can you imagine? Because she was not willing to because she was not willing to go and be collecting and bring it to them, they removed her. Say, for this house of Senate where we did, so we must collect and collect. But since you're not willing to do it, they removed her. Can you imagine? And then I saw a post where Baba Tinubu said, he wants to fight corruption. Start fighting corruption from when you did not even contest for the election. Yes, because we all know on what mandate Baba Tinubu is standing on. So if Baba Tinubu wants to fight corruption, it should start from how he got to become the president of Nigeria. I'm just thinking out loud.
My colleague, who is the chairman committee on gas, Senator Jared Bay. I have his text messages. I hope it doesn't contravene anything, because I would love to screenshot it and show Nigerians.
Okay, so why
message? So that message proves that there was some harassment, sort of like.
So Samuel, we are saying that Natasha carry pretty face, they confuse us. You know what? All the actions of Akpabio so far is screaming guilty. If he's not screaming guilty, let him get the fuck off the seats so that they could investigate this case. He is there victimizing people allegedly, because he knows that if he ever steps away from that seat for them to handle that case, he knows all of the shenanigans is going to be thrown on the table. That is why he's not wanting to step down. You being asked to step down does not mean you are resigning your job. It's to allow for fair hearing. How can you say because a judge is going to be biased, you ask for a judge to be taken away from a case? Who the hell is he? It's just like a case involving me and somebody here in the UK. I should not say because I think that judge is going to be biased, I don't want that judge. Who will you be? Now you they pay the judge salary. Do you hold the judge? Do you hold the justice system in Nigeria for you to say that judge should step down? When does he have such power? When was he given such power to make such rules to say, I don't want that judge on my case? Who the hell is he? Like Abi will say, Nigerians deserve the government we have.
Trying to find out why who approved the 5 LNG plants in Kogi and how come he wasn't taken like in the know of it. Not only did he question Senator Jerigbe.
At the end of the day, it's not about who wins. It's about sticking to your grounds when you know you are saying the truth. It's sticking to your grounds when you know what you're saying. You're not missing your words. If I am saying something and with all my heart, I am telling you that this thing, I am 100% legit. I swear to God, nobody will make me sway. Just so you know.
Senator Akpabio also called the Minister of Gas and the Executive Secretary Local Content and questioned them as to how those gas plants ended up in Kogi State without his knowledge. And I will say this, he actually told some people, but I'm not going to mention their names, that he believed I was settled mightily for that. And I say this to Nigerians, I never got a kobo for that from that gas plant. In short, it's just an honor that those 5 LNG plants are situated in Kogi State, in my senatorial district, upon the approval of the president himself. And that actually is part of the gasification of the northern part of Nigeria. So, I mean, if we're one country, then we should support each other. Each region should support each other's strength. So let me send you this screenshot, please. It's very important to see this.
I want you to be able to express yourself, but also keep in mind there's so many topics that we would love to cover. Now, a lot of Nigerians...
I've sent you, so we can round this part up, I've sent you Senator Jerigbe's message to me that morning, the morning I was removed as chair of the committee. You could tell from his tone that the leadership of the National Assembly were questioning the citation.
You know what? There are some people in that House of Senate who do not agree with what Akpabio is doing, but they don't have the guts to stand up to speak. They don't. And if they don't have the guts to stand up to speak, I don't freaking know what their job is in that House of Senate. They shouldn't be there. That's my opinion.
Of the plants in Kogi. You can put the text up there. Senator Jerigbe, I'm so sorry I have to do this.
So that message, I don't know if you're able to read. So it says, good morning, distinguished. How was your trip? I hope everything went well. I want to find out if NCDMB was part of the 5 mini LNG prospects in Kogi. I'm asking because the leadership seems to believe we were part of the decision making. Seeing us on the TV sent signals that we were part of everything. I personally was invited as a guest to that event as chairman gas. I was only told that the investors are private investors partnering with NGML in some cases. For now, only Kogi has a gas pipeline in the north of the country. That's why they were all cited in Ajaokuta. Okay, so this is them trying to say that, okay, this is not part of the, we're not the one. This is this governor, and this is this senator saying to Senator Natasha that come. Now number 3 is claiming that we know we have a hand in this thing. And he's just claiming that I was just invited there as a guest. He doesn't have any freaking understanding of how that happened. So that was the explanation I got from the EVP gas. AKK is yet to come up. So I hope that makes sense. So that's the right up there. Okay.
Okay, so would this be would this like implicate Senator Jerigbe in any way?
No, it wouldn't. It wouldn't. Okay. I don't think he's a nice person. And the truth is, he too wasn't aware of it. He only got to know about the gas plant a few days before the groundbreaking.
Just like he said
like I told you, it was an executive order from the president. And also, one thing is, anyway.
Okay, let's take it one at a time. Don't forget, I have only asked one question, and like I said, I have a million questions. I can already see in the section, people have a lot of questions for you. Now, a lot of Nigerians have also been saying that
Okay, so that's that part there. That's just kind of like discuss that alleged allegation, obviously, and of the reporting progress that Senator Akpabio allegedly is wanting her to collect from all those people so she could deliver to him, and she said she couldn't do it. So that's like cases that we did not know before, but which she has made us aware of. So now let's go to the next session. So I'm going to remove this and bring in the next session. So the next session I'm going to be bringing in is where she was discussing about suspension, you know, how many days since it's been that she's been suspended. So let me find that video. So suspension. So that video is about 12 minutes long. So I'm going to read your comment before we start discussing it. Okay. So Samuel says an ordinary citizen have such powers if you have evidence that a judge will be, but then you don't expect her to bring the evidence to the public. And that judge, for the fact that that judge stepped down, that judge is a freaking clown for all I care. Now Akpabio will give you job. Why do you have to step down? Because he asked that you should be stepped down. Only if the judge thinks he or she is going to be biased, then I will understand. Even for some judges, you don't even need to be told to leave. If you think you have acquaintances to either of the parties, then you can say, you know what, because I have acquaintances with Senator Natasha, or because I have acquaintances with Senator Akpabio, for me not to be biased, I'm going to take myself out of this case. It's understandable, but because Akpabio requested that he be removed, who the freaking hell is Akpabio? Who is the freaking hell is Akpabio? Hello, Life in Nato, welcome. So this video that we're about to listen to, I'm just going to give a quick summary of it. Senator Natasha has discussed about her suspension, that it's been 84 days since she's been suspended, and obviously she's not been able to assess other people. She went on to discuss Senator Redcap, also the question that did the S harassment actually happened. She also went on to discuss Reno Omokri, because Reno Omokri, Mr. Onirugbo Funfun, man with the white beard, also, you know, she spoke about that in length as well. She discussed quite a lot of things, so we're going to listen to that just now, all right?
Of course, now your suspension has been like since March.
This is the 84th day. We're 84 days into my suspension.
Like this caption for me.
84 days that my entire senatorial district have been denied representation.
Exactly.
And 84 days since, I would say, a quarter of Nigerian women. If Nigerian women are a population of about 100 million, and we have 4 female senators, so that means I could, on a ratio of 1 to 25 million people. So 25 million people that would have benefited from my voice, who as a woman have also been silenced.
So I'm very sure that you would have seen this a lot on social media, especially and some Nigerians that are saying things like, this is not the first time that you're accusing somebody of sexual harassment. Are you the only one? You've accused this person. Actually, your colleague, Senator Nwambui, also said this on Arise News. I'm going to play the video. I really want you to address that, because is it true that you've been accusing several people of sexual harassment? And then we will come to, was there sexual harassment? Did they actually happen? That's one of the things that a lot of people have been asking about, as well as what's about your evidence? When will you make it public? Things like that. So let me start out by playing the video of Senator Nwambui.
Senator Redcap.
Is that this is a complete falsehood.
By the way, he has a case in court. Senator Natasha has a case in court with him. So I think it's been billed. I mean, it's been sued for 5 million or 5 billion naira or something. And I think that case is going to be going ahead soon as well.
This is an attempt to discredit the Senate president. And this is not the first time. Just give me some time. This is not the first time this woman is doing this. This is a woman that have accused Ayabelo of sexual harassment. This is the same woman that have accused I'm coming. Allow me to flow. Allow me to flow.
Okay.
This is the same woman that accused Reno Omokri, the former media aide to Jonathan, of sexual harassment. This is a woman I saw in a video yesterday accusing a minister of sexual harassment. Are you the only woman in Nigeria, Senator Natasha?
Because your wife don't find a charm.
But Senator Wembley.
Okay.
Because your wife don't find a
Yes, thank you so much, Adiola, for this.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me thank you so much for this.
I saw that as well.
I would say this categorically. I have never accused any other person of sexual harassment apart from Senator Akpabio. I never accused Yahaya Bello of sexual harassment. And I never accused Reno Omokri of sexual harassment. I don't know if you have that screenshot of the text message
I've got a video of that Mr. Onirugbo Tuetue Irungbo Funfun. Once we finish listening to it, we're going to play. In fact, let us play what Reno Mokri said, and then we'll listen to Natasha's side of the story. Okay.
Natasha Akpoti had a dispute with me, and after the dispute, she went on social media and accused me of sexually harassing her. She claimed that at a state banquet at the Aso Rock Presidential Villa held by President Goodluck Jonathan for the visiting Kenyan President Uhuru Kenyatta on Tuesday, May 6, 2014, I had sexually harassed her. Now, the thing is, a month before, the Chibok girls had been abducted. And as one of his presidential spokesmen, President Jonathan sent me to the United States as a special envoy to try to clean up Nigeria's image. I left in April, and I wasn't back in Nigeria until the end of May. So obviously, Natasha Akpoti lied. So what I did, I went on social media and I published my passport stamp with my passport leaving Nigeria and then entering the United States, showing the stamps. And I also published a first-class British Airways ticket showing that I left Nigeria for the United Kingdom and from the United Kingdom to the United States, and I wasn't in Nigeria throughout the time when Natasha Akpoti accused me. So she obviously lied. So what happened is that after the newspapers published my evidence, Natasha deleted all traces of her accusation. She deleted everything. She had made a video insulting me and my wife and my newborn daughter. She also deleted that. The next day, I got a phone call from a prominent Christian clergyman, and they felt that, okay, as a fellow pastor, I would listen to a member of the body of Christ. This is a senior member of the body of Christ. He called me on three-way with Emmanuel Oishejolomi Akpoti, I think Uduaghan rather. Emmanuel Oishejolomi Uduaghan, Natasha Akpoti's present husband. And they appealed to me, they quoted the scriptural references about Christians taking each other to court, and I listened to them. And we settled the matter out of court. I was paid a large amount of money as damages, and I let the matter go. So, fast forward, 4 years later, Natasha Akpoti had a dispute with the Senate president, and then after that dispute, she went on Arise TV and accused him of sexual harassment. It sounds like deja vu. Now, the thing is, I do not know if those allegations are true. But one thing I know is that Natasha Akpoti is a liar, a known liar. So, here's the thing. The best predictor of future behavior is past behavior. Before Nigerians crucify Senator Godswill Akpabio, I would encourage...
I hope you guys know that Senator Natasha no be the only woman we don't come and talk, say Senator Akpabio harassed her. There was another woman, okay?
People like Obi Ezekwesili and others now agitating to ask Natasha Akpoti to take a lie detector test. It's very easy. Take a lie detector test. Come out, take the test, be escorted by one senator that is in your support and another senator that is just objective. Or if you don't want that, then you can...
On top waiting, on top something that, I'm sorry, it was a mistake, could have resolved. Wasting Nigerian money. Balloon went to that be powder here. Oh, sorry, I've branded it back.
He is a liar, a known liar. So, Natasha Akpoti to take a lie detector test. It's very easy. Take a lie detector test. Come out, take the test, be escorted by one senator.
He's not advocating for all the thieves who are stealing Nigerian money to go and take lie detector test. He's here advocating for a woman who is telling her story to come and take lie detector test. This man is sick upstairs.
That is in your support and another senator that is just objective. Or if you don't want that, then you can actually go with Obi Ezekwesili herself. And then a third party, maybe somebody from CAN or from the National Supreme Council of Islamic Affairs or some other objective body. Do a lie detector test. Because if you think about what happened to me, if I didn't have the ticket and my passport stamp and even videos and photographs of me in the State Department in Washington and later at my son's school in San Francisco, everybody would have believed that I sexually harassed Natasha Akpoti. So because I had evidence.
At the end of the day, sexual harassment does not have to be physical. I hope you guys know that. Some dingbats might not understand to that level. Sexual harassment does not have to be physical. Just putting it out there.
She retracted her false allegations and deleted every trace of them. Now, just assume that I'm lying. Just Google Natasha Akpoti accuses Mgbeke and just read about the facts. It was carried by Punch, Guardian, Vanguard, even this day. So the thing is, I don't know if what she's saying right now is true. But until she takes a lie detector test, the presumption is that she is acting on her past behavior. My name is Mgbeke. Thank you for watching this, and may God bless you.
You don't know, hence why you should shut up. You should take yourself out of it, because you are a critical. You used to go against Tinubu. Now you are now siding Tinubu. Now I'm sure you are looking for a post in power. You are looking for a post in Nigerian politics, but that place you are looking for, you will not get there. You will not get it. You do not know if what you're saying is true or not. Hence why you should freaking take yourself away from it. So let's continue with this part of
that I sent.
Okay.
That was the text message that started the whole thing. And I think this is, if Nigerians can go back to the post, it was...
So, Senator Natasha said this is the message that started the sexual harassment thing. So this is Senator Natasha saying, "Dear Mgbeke, I understand how boring and bitter life must be for you away in the US on asylum." So you claim asylum in the US. Okay. No more access to your numerous iPhone 2 girlfriends, most of whom you got into Sure P through your office as an SA to President Goodluck Jonathan. Weren't you married then? I rejected your silly advances in 2014 at the Villas Banque or Bank Cantok. You guys know it all. During President Uhuru's Kenyatta's reciprocated visits, I gave you... I gave you...
This is my response to one of his posts on Facebook in the year 2019 or 2020.
I hope you guys see that.
And I said, hey, it was a conversation whereby he was attacking one of my wards, a girl who felt really bad. And then she was being dragged. So I went there and I made this statement, like, I understand how boring and bitter life must be for you away in the US on asylum. No more access to your numerous iPhone 2 girlfriends, most of whom you got into Show P through your office as an SA to President Goodluck Jonathan. Weren't you married then? I rejected your silly advances in 2014 at the Villas Banquet Hall during President Uhuru Kenyatta's reciprocated visit. I gave you a fake name and a fake phone number, but so it just pretty much ended after that. So if anyone can actually go to the post, you'll be able to extract the full one. I will appreciate it. So here it is. That is the only time. I mean, that does not amount to sexual harassment. What I said is, we were at an event and he walked to me, been friendly, asked for my number, asked for my name. I gave him a fake name, a fake number. So we never got in touch because it was fake name and fake number. So the bone of contention at that point was that he said he wasn't in the country, that it wasn't him I saw. There must have been somebody else. But I insisted that no, I saw you, and that was what transpired. And then that's how the whole thing ended. He put up pictures of his passport with a stamp, and he also presented a ticket which proves that he wasn't in the country at that time. But I was like, you know what? We know how people get the stamps. Sometimes people like, you know what? They don't want to, I'm not trying to implicate the immigration, but it's what they call the Uwole passport and all of this stuff. So I was like, I can sit here and get my travel agent to generate 5 tickets to different countries, and that doesn't mean I really traveled. So it was more like, was he the one I saw at the villa? Wasn't he the one I saw at the villa? Did he travel? Was he in the country? That was it. It was never sexual harassment. I never accused Mgbeke of sexual harassment ever. So I was actually surprised when an incident that happened years back, where it was not reported as sexual harassment, suddenly became a sexual harassment matter, like him adding the voice to it. I'm surprised. And on the minister where he said, I spoke, I remember it was on the floor.
I think of
one senator, Senator Fashtusi from Ekiti State, Cyril, Senator Cyril made a statement that, oh, I actually accused his former governor, His Excellency Fayemi, of sexual harassment. I never did, and I'm so glad that he actually came up to clear the air that I never accused him. So I didn't accuse Yaya Bello. We never had any relationship whatsoever that was in that line. It was more political, him antagonizing my election in 2019 and then 2023. So the Senate President Godswill Akpabio is the first Nigerian man that I'm actually coming up to speak against sexual harassment. But that does not mean, let me say this, that does not mean that I've not been sexually harassed by others in the past, right, from my university days, because sexual harassment happens so rampantly to many Nigerian women. I can bet if Nigerian women are to do Me Too, we will probably see a ratio of about 80% of Nigerian women. And people don't really understand what sexual harassment is.
It does. I remember I was an 18-year-old girl working in a video club where people come to hire video club. You see grown-up men, then almost the age of my dad, coming to ask me, hey, where are you going this weekend? Hey, can I come and pick you out? Can I come and do this? I will ask them to pay for their videotapes. You will see the way they'll put the money in my hand as if they are doing nonsense. And I'll be looking at them like, all this Agbaya. Your sons are coming here to toast me. You are bringing yourself to come and toast me at my job. Like, these things happen. And it's so crazy that Nigerians are looking at it as if it's nothing. They are looking at it as if it's nothing.
They think that it's like rape. Do you understand? It could happen like wrong gestures. It could be denial of rights or dues just because the woman has not given in. You know, there are people who make passes at me, and I just joke about like, please excuse me, I'm married, and have you seen my husband?
Exactly.
Flat tummy, dark, handsome. Please, you can't match him, and it ends there. So there are times when we just make a joke. Natasha, but you're fine. I want to say, excuse me, please. So look at your pot belly. Where would you put this? But we just joke about, and it ends there. Do you understand? But when a person makes advances at you, and he doesn't take no for an answer, probably because he feels it massages the ego or whatever, and then it now begins to inhibit at your work or turns to malice. That now becomes harassment when the person doesn't take your no for an answer. So that's what it is. And of course, like I said, I've subjected myself. Indeed, I saw statements on the news about the presidential panel being set up. Yes, I was contacted. I think it's the first week of April or so.
But she was not invited.
Rano said you paid him. Did you pay him?
I didn't pay him nothing. I don't know what he's talking about. You should bring proof. I didn't pay Reno nothing. Oh no, he said my husband paid him. That was what he said. And I asked my husband. My husband said no, he never did. So he should bring proof of that. You can't just come and say I accuse you. Yes, I think as a matter of fact, I should maybe, if this continues, and I will have to take action whereby he would then have to present
proof of
where I accuse him of sexual harassment and where such payments were made. Because you can't just wake up one morning and begin to attack, lie against me just because you want to favor the party in power, which I respect his views. The fact that he has shifted from antagonizing the president to being one of the great supporters. That's fine. That's the beauty of politics.
He's
I
looking
think
for
we're
power
all at liberty to make our choices. But I think it's really wrong when you want to please someone, then you go overboard just to attack me or manipulate whatever happened. And on the like I said, there was a presidential committee panel set up. I was approached. That was early April or so, and asked if I'll be willing to submit myself to the panel to investigate. I was like, of course. They made me understand that it's going to be a panel made up of APC members, and I was like, of course, as long as it will be objective and fair. The fact that I'm PDP in the opposition doesn't really.
Guys, it's starting to make sense. When I watched this part of the video, it was starting to make sense that she's a PDP, and we all know what is going on now. Every politician is now moving camp to APC. So it kind of like starts to make sense now that they definitely want to eradicate PDP. And she's a PDP. She's carrying the flag of PDP. So they clearly want to eradicate PDP. Because all of them know they run to APC now. So it's starting to make sense. This is all politics. And then they want to use it as a scapegoat.
The matter. The fact, all that matters for me is that I'll be given a chance to tender my evidences and my complaints. And they said, okay. So I was told to recommend somebody, which I did. But later on, I was told that the Senate president pulled out of it, and that's fine. But one more thing, again, that I've seen people questioned, why did I just speak up? Why didn't I speak up? Something that happened over a year ago. Let me tell you this. Speaking up on sexual harassment is one of the most difficult things anyone can do. And many women actually go to their graves with that.
Because a woman will not even speak about it, knowing that if I talk about it now, my husband might say, you be wayward. No wonder you were like this in the bedroom. You are a wayward woman. No wonder when you go out, this, that. No wonder you're dressing that way. That alone could put like a discourse or whatever in that woman's relationship. So hence why I agree with her. Hence why when things like that happens to women, they often don't speak to anybody about it. It is the courageous ones. It is maybe people who are maybe experiencing some sort of trauma from it that would decide to go maybe seek counseling. But for a woman to come out and speak about it, look at the recent talk of the girl who went for a spa, and the masseuse was putting his finger where it shouldn't have been in the first place. And what happened? Yes, people blame her that the guy didn't put his finger there the first time. You didn't say anything. Put it the second time. That was where you didn't even say anything as much the second time, which meant that when that incident happened, no, you left there to go to the police station. And when she now went to the police station to report, you can imagine a Nigerian police was telling her that what is a girl of her age doing it is bad thing. Can you imagine? A girl said she was assaulted where she was getting a massage, and people blamed this girl. They blamed her. Even the police, where she went to go and make a report, even blamed her, saying that what was she looking for? I went to London. I had a massage, and I had a massage was given to me by a man. Because at the end of the day, as a trained masseuse, you should know where your hands should go and where it should not. So should the stupid idiot have put his fingers where he shouldn't have been? His massage is going into the V area. But yes, trust Nigerians to blame her. Because obviously, American Pekin, who went to Nigeria, she came out with it because she knows that it was wrong, and she came out openly to speak about it. And the spa was like, it's normal for something like that to happen. Are you freaking kidding me? Normal that you went into a spa to go get a massage, and the masseuse is putting their finger in your VJJ? How is that normal? How is that normal? For me, I would have given him correct woto. I would have stood up, like anything I see, find on top of his head straight, make it first pass out first. For that disrespect to my body, I would have got up. If it is the sole of my shoe, let his head bleed. And that would first of all be my first reaction. And if they try to do nonsense, we carry ourselves to police station. But before I go police station, I don't carry out my own judgment first.
Many men lived with their wives without knowing that their wives have been sexually harassed at workplaces or because they're scared of being judged. And right now we keep seeing a lot of men complain that the DNAs go wrong, that the children their wives birthed are not theirs. But the men should sit back and wonder, why do they think some of these things go wrong? They sleep with their wives go to the office, and for any promotion, her boss sleeps with her. So along this line, babies will be born who do not belong to their husbands, because the woman is not given a fair chance to speak of whatever disadvantages she's faced. And somehow sexual harassment has become a norm in Nigeria. It's almost like, do you know, there were actually women that approached me and said, Natasha, you are slacking. Your number 3 citizen was making pass at you and you didn't take advantage of that. So, but then the question is, the thing there is, I didn't speak up because I want any monetary remuneration or I want some reward. There's pretty much nothing the Senate president would.
That's why I was asking, and my question still remains that this woman is a lawyer herself. She knows the implications of what she's doing if she were to be found out to be telling lies. So for a learned person who is a barrister, a lawyer herself, who knows the implication if she's being found out to be lying, what has she got to gain here? What has she got to gain? Do you think is the money for her? She's already attained being in the House of Senate. What else would she attain? What would she aspire to attain being there? No, some of us, we don't think. We don't think. She's doing well herself. She has her money. She's a lawyer. If at the end of the day, if they no longer want her in the House of Senate anymore, she can open a firm. She can, I'm sure, I don't know what, I mean, in terms of practicing, where she could practice law. She's a woman on her own, doing great. So you are like, she's lying. And that mumu that is talking there, she wants to weaponize sexual harassment. Are you freaking okay?
Do for me that God has not blessed me with. I thank God I am already a self-made woman, and then my husband is comfortable enough to take care of my needs. Mind you, I told you that the Senate president and my husband were friends, and my husband really played a pivotal role in supporting him to become a senator in the first place and even become a Senate president. It's no hidden news. So what else? I didn't speak up because I want Senator Akpabio to settle me out of money. I just wanted to tell my story and let him give me a chance to work, because the environment was already toxic. For the past 7 months before my suspension, I stopped eating in the cafeteria. Senators would testify. Like normally, I don't like eating breakfast in the morning, so I look forward to eating after sessions. We have a canteen where all the senators go. Well, most senators go, and it's free lunch. So I usually join my colleagues to eat then. But And after eating, about 2, 3 p.m., I'll go to work, to my office, and stay there till 5, 6 p.m. But since the environment became uncomfortable, I stopped going to the cafeteria. So that means every morning I will only eat at evening time when I get back home. So I was still hungry just because I was avoiding being in the same space with him, because he could just utter words and everybody there will laugh without thinking of how it will affect me, or he'll make statements and all that. So yeah, I didn't speak up.
That's why at times, like, guys, I think I've said this here several times, that, you know what, before I went back to study nursing, I mean, I will say anything I want to say to you. I don't care what your feelings has been like. But since I became a nurse, since I started working with various set of people, like different from different walks of life, the people from different walks of life, like in terms of ethnicity and stuff like that, I have been very, very conscious of how I use words, especially when I'm addressing people, because I know how deep words could cut. And even me sitting down here, I know how deep words could cut at times. So if you guys notice, when all of this, there's been lots of drama on YouTube, I've been very, very conscious of how I use my words. Only if that person I'm talking about has been disrespectful or name call me, would I do the same. And even when I do the same, I don't go to the extent of how they would refer to me. So the way you address people, the way you even speak to people at times is very, very important, because you don't know what could tip that person to the threshold. You don't know what could tip that person to an extent whereby if they enter into that phase, they would never come out of it. So it's very, very important that we are very, very conscious of how we address people. You might see me, there was a time I was at work, I was having my own shenanigans going on, and I'll put on strong face. There was a time I actually broke down at work, and my manager was like, "Oh, Webby, like, are you coming to work? You carry on." And I'm like, "Yeah, because I put my issues outside the door. I leave my issues out the door. When I get into work, I face work, because at the end of the day, I'm here for a purpose." So this is just one thing I just want to put across there. We need to be very, very conscious and, very mindful of the type of words. To you, it might be a joke, but to that person you're putting that words through, it might be just you opening maybe another traumatic experience of their life with what you might have said to them. I just thought I should put that out there.
Because I wanted any settlement. I didn't want any money out of it. I didn't want, and neither was I seeking him to be arrested or anything. I mean, ordinarily in a sense that society, people who harass women should be punished. But I mean, Nigeria, I don't think we have gotten our institutions or societal orders have matured to that level. But I just wanted him to give me space to work, because I was harassed almost continuously at that point.
Okay, so I need to round up.
She's in the House of Senate to represent our people. So just because she's not going to dance to your tune, you're not making her position or her being there miserable for her. It is not fair. That is bullying and harassment. So at the end of the day, this harassment she's talking about, like I said, I am behind her. I am solidly behind her. And this is not a matter of who is winning or who is not. This is something we are trying to stamp out. This is what we are trying to stamp out. Look at in the past few months, this year alone, do you know how many people all those old fools have put their cucumber into them? Do you know how many young children that all those old fools? There was a story of a woman in a church, maybe they saying testimony that man, they validate his own daughter, and the daughter was sitting on his lap, and the daughter maybe about 3 or 4 years. If you look at the age of that child in a church, you think that would happen here in the UK, and another part will not be waiting for you outside the door to harass that man? But it's in a church in Nigeria, and people sat down there. Testimony by them there. Anyway, that's that part where she has addressed her suspension. She addressed the fact that she did not harass she did not put any claim of extra harassment against Reno Mokri. So Reno Mokri, go and take several thousand seats wherever you are with your white bed. She's also addressed the fact that she never paid the Mokri. She's also spoken about Senator Nwemboyi. So I think the next stage in this video that I also want us to go on to listen to is Senator Redcap. She addressed Senator Redcap because Senator Redcap said, "Is it only you, Natasha? Is it only you, Natasha?" So that video was actually funny. That video is funny. So let me see if I can find it. Okay, where he said she has 6 kids by 6 men. So a summary of this particular one that we're going to listen to, Senator Redcap said that Senator Natasha has 6 kids by 6 men and stuff like that. So this is where she's addressing that issue that no, that's not
institutions or societal orders have matured to that level. But I just wanted him to give me space to work because I was harassed almost continuously at that point.
Okay, so I need to round up that last question based on the tape and some of the things that Reno Mokuri said. Thank you for addressing some of that. Also, there has been allegations by Senator Mgbeke that...
Oh, and one more thing. I don't have 6 children for 6 men, like he said. No, I have just 4 biological children. And I know I forgot that part. I don't know why he didn't play it. It's somewhere in the video where he said, I have 6 children, I have 6 men. And even if I have 6 children for 6 men, I don't have 6 children. I have 4 biological children, but in total, with my stepkids, we're all 8 children in total. So, but even if I have 6 children for 6 men, that does not invalidate the fact that if I speak of sexual harassment, it should not be investigated. And that does not make me a bad person.
Investigate it.
So one of the things that he also said was that you sued your husband, you forced him to marry you. Was that all made up, or did you...
That's all made up. That's all made up. I didn't coerce my husband. We're actually in court on that. As a matter of fact, he was avoiding service. So 2 days ago, or yesterday, the court granted the substitute order permit. So I believe it's on the papers now, and it could be pasted in his office or at the gates of the National Assembly that he's served, so that he will attend to the case, the charges there. I didn't harass, I didn't coerce my husband. My husband's such an amazing person. I mean, Adeola, he's an amazing person. He's been my strength through these challenging times, even throughout my elections. I actually pray that more women in politics, which are most women in Nigeria, will be lucky enough to have a man as supportive as my husband.
That's sweet to hear.
You know, yeah.
So you've sort of answered my next question stylishly. I was just going to ask, okay, was there sexual harassment? Did it actually happen? And more importantly, people have been asking, where is your evidence? When will you...
Exactly. So let's go on to the next one. Where is the evidence? As people have been asking, where is the evidence? Where is the evidence? So let me find that next stage. So that's the stage we're talking about. Was there any sexual harassment? Let me find that clips here. That video is like, that live stream was very, very long. So let me see if I can find it. Okay, so it's about 1 minute 10 seconds long, where she explained.
Importantly, people have been asking, where is your evidence? When will you make your evidence public? Can you speak about that?
Sexual harassment did happen a number of times.
She's still taking
yes, I do have my evidence, and I will tender the evidence at the appropriate place.
Exactly. Social media.
Like I did say, we do. I thought the Committee on Ethics and Privileges will be the first place for me to tender my evidence, but that did not happen. And then I thought also the presidential panel will be another place, but that also did not happen. So at the next opportunity that I have to tender my evidence, which I also have witnesses.
50 minutes.
So they didn't let you tender your evidence at the...
I was never called upon to speak. No, that was never called upon. I wasn't, never.
That's crazy.
I was never called anywhere. There's never been an inquiry into that where I was called to tender my case.
Okay. So we're running out of time.
So that's that part there. So this is the next page. This is the next section that I think we're going to call it a day here. And then I'm just going to briefly discuss I'm just going to briefly discuss what she had to say about Yahaya Bello. You guys know what Yahaya Bello did, because like I said, the live stream was 2 hours 20 minutes long. So I don't want to be here for 2 or 3 hours. People who do live stream for 3 hours, I don't know how you guys do it too. Me and I'm tired of sitting down on this chair. So this part that we're going to be listening to is a part of Mgbeke feeling funky. And guys, I have to be honest with you, I've not been able to bring myself to actually go read or listen to any of the things that lady has been saying. Because if you call yourself a professor, there's a way and manner you write about people. There's a way and manner you write to explain things. You know what? At some point I tried going to her page to read all of those things she's been saying. You know, she's full of insults, she's full of degrading talks, and I was just like, no, I can't read any piece from her. Like anytime I attempt to read anything from her, I just get irritated. I feel nauseated trying to read anything from her page, and you see a group of dingbats, a group of school is not a scam people saying, where the evidence? Now you this, now you that, coming from somebody who is known for all the things that she has been, how she has defrauded people allegedly. You all saw the story of those 3 whistleblowers. I did mention the video that I did that I do not agree with that first whistleblower on Adiola's page, because if you say you are a journalist and you're being asked a question, you're being defensive, you're being kind of like off stone, or what should I call it? I'm like, no, Adela shouldn't have brought her. She should have gone to use her platform as a journalist to put out what she wants to put out, to speak against Sandra Duru. So Sandra Duru is the same person as Professor Mgbeke. I don't know what her real name is, but I'm sorry, I can't stand that woman. And why I also can't stand her, she just reminded me of when we were talking, I was discussing the case of Selena and Afiba. We all know Mr. Eyeliner, Mr. Accomplish. Anybody that comes out to knock his lies, he goes attacking them. So Mr. Accomplish of Selena and Afiba and this Francis Duru, they are best of the same feather. So you can imagine, since Adiola started talking or started using a platform to bring these whistleblowers on, all she's done is attack Adiola as well. Why are you attacking Adiola? Do you know Adiola from anywhere? Adiola is a YouTuber here who talks about all the things affecting Nigeria as a nation. So for the fact that she's bringing these whistleblowers onto her channel to give them the platform to speak, does not give you the right to now say you are going to file a case against her. And I'm saying to Adiola, please, if she come your side, deal with her. Deal with her. So I'm not wrong in my judgment when I said that I can't stand reading anything from her page. Like I said, she's just the same as Ben Samuel, who was like, Andrew is my friend. I know everything about Andrew. And anytime I come out here to say something about whatever it is he did, he was quick to call me out, put my face on thumbnail, put my face on his TikTok page for people to slam, to say things about me. He goes attacking anybody and anyone. We all knew how Ben Samuel attacked Harrison Gwamishu. Go and see him on his struggling TikTok page now. Go and see him on his struggling Facebook page and his YouTube page. Now, what is he doing on his page? He's struggling. He's going like somebody with dementia everywhere. So Francis Duru and Sandra Mgbeke, whatever they're called, she exactly the same thing as Ben Samuel, because anybody who's come out here to say something against them or try to get some sort of clearance based on what they've discussed or what they've shared, they go attacking them. So this section, I think it's about 2 sections where she spoke about Sandra Duru, how they met, what they discussed. Sandra Duru Mgbeke saying that Senator Natasha deleted evidences. She goes on to explain the things that she deleted. Yes, Senator Natasha has a fault of her own as well. I don't need Senator Natasha to give me all of her documentations for me to know who she is. I can go on to Google and Wikipedia will tell me all I need to know about her. So she did fall out. She did some steps. She did carry out some steps that was not even needed. But I'm going to allow you guys to listen to it. And please leave your thoughts and opinion in the comments as always, okay?
And against Sandra Duru, has any of your petitions been addressed?
None.
No, thanks, Adiola. As a matter of fact, I have all the petitions listed, 12 of them in total.
Yeah, so and Sandra Duru already shared an image that she's already in Nigeria. I hope DSS will now catch her now to come and go and hear the case of all the alleged fraud and scam and whatever that she was involved in before she fled Nigeria. I hope DSS will step in and make her account for her own case before she fled.
The first petition on March 11th, second March 25th,
12 petitions.
then March 3rd, 31st, then April 4th, April 24th, April 28th, April 29th, May 2nd, May 6th, May 15th, May 19th, May 19th, had several petitions written to all the security agencies.
They never acknowledged.
And unfortunately, there's been no investigation. These petitions are all interwoven from...
At the end of the day, she is a member of the Senate. Akpabio is a member of the Senate. Why was Akpabio's petition acknowledged? Why is she not being granted her own privileges as a member of Senate? Because I want to believe that whatever privileges that Akpabio is enjoying, she is also a Senate. She should be given such benefit as well. I don't care, because at the end of the day, that her suspension was illegal. So now she's written 12 petitions. Police security department, they've not acknowledged any. Talk more, say they want to investigate. But Akpabio raised 1 or 2 petitions. They scrambled like scrambled eggs. to now say they are charging the federal government against Natasha. Like, make it make sense. What they're trying to say to us that if you see evil, you keep quiet. You see anything, if it's none of your business, you walk away. That's what they're trying to say to us.
Threat to life, withdrawal of my security, assassination attempts. That when Sandra Duru made the live video on the 1st of May, I did write my first petition against her on the 6th of May. I think I did send you a copy. And then after the interview where Frances and Obina spoke up, we then had to make another interview because we could then see that there was a connection with the Senate president. So we now wrote another one against Sandra Duru and the Senate president. That was on the 15th of May. And unfortunately, none of these petitions have been investigated. And but when my lawyers went public with this, with the cause that there is bias in the investigation, in the activities of the police, that was 4 days ago. When my lawyers went public with that, surprisingly, yesterday my lawyer told me that they received a letter of notice of investigation from the Inspector General of Police's monitoring unit. Just yesterday, my lawyer told me. So, and the question I have in mind now is...
This is the one against Senator Peter
Larry Badmus. They are going to court on the 3rd. Go and sit on the case. I hope in Nigerian courts, you can go and listen to any case in any court. So social media is not a court for evidence. So if you want to see any of our evidences, 3rd of June, they are going to court. You are welcome to go join them, okay?
Yeah, but when they didn't respond, so we went to court.
So those are
and this was the one against Sandra Duru.
Yes,
right?
This was on the 6th of May. If you see 6th of May, just right after her, where I mentioned that all those things she said, that I called Nigerian gullible and hungry. I offered to pay her 200 million to blackmail Akpabio, that I said I'm there to destroy the Yoruba government. I listed everything, that's all false and they should investigate. Nothing happened on that. What is this one? This was 4th of April. The plot to assassinate me. Yes, I did write this. Before I even went to, I wrote a petition before I even make...
So a Senate member representing her constituencies wrote a petition saying she's fearful for her life because her security has been withdrawn. And the Oga of police did not think that they should investigate that. But Akpabio wrote a statement. He wrote a petition saying that she was defaming. So they would rather take a petition of somebody who is claiming somebody is defaming as compared to a petition of somebody saying that she's fearful for her life. So they do not value anybody's life. They do not value her life. That's practically what they are saying. So tell me why Nigerians should ignore the fact that she's out there saying that they are trying to assassinate her allegedly. So they acknowledged a petition of what's it called? What's it called again? What's the word again? That she was defaming them. Akpabio wrote a petition that Senator Natasha was defaming. So they would rather take serious a defamed petition as compared to a petition of somebody saying that her life is in danger. That's Nigeria for you.
Made an appearance on Shewa Kimbaloy's show. If you watch that video, if you watch the interview on Shewa Kimbaloy's, I did make reference that it is considerable threat to my life, and that
and then
Senate president had met
president. So has any of this, has any of these petitions been addressed?
No, not one of them. Not one of them. But like I said, if you can, there's there's one other document I sent to you. The one that was... No, not that one.
Okay. Which document?
Let me highlight it. Sorry.
Let me fast forward this, please.
We are not receiving attention, and instead is the response, is the only petition the Senate President and Akpabio wrote against me, that I'm defaming them by crying out of the assassination. That's what the case the federal government initiated against me. So it's more like I came out, I wrote petitions.
So the actions so far confirmed our allegations of somebody who's trying to assassinate her. Because how can you take a petition of defamation seriously against somebody who's also a member of the Senate, who's claiming that she feels her life is at stake, she needs her protection? They did not, like...
drawing attention to the assassination attempt, risk of my life, and that wasn't attended to. And yet the Senate President and Yahaya Bello, Governor Yahaya Bello, wrote their own petitions, outcrying that I defamed them by speaking out. And then that is a petition that I am being charged for conspiracy, what's it called? Criminal defamation. Yeah. So this is it. It was just signed on the 27th. My lawyer received it. If you look at the stamp at the bottom, on the evening 2 days ago. So yesterday, my lawyer told me. And if you read it, there was no date mentioned. Like, in view of the foregoing,
guys,
you are kindly requested to inform your client, that's distinguished Senator Natasha Akpoti, to attend an interview with the head of the IGP monitoring unit at the first floor. Blah. There was no date to it. So no date. That means it's just like a vacuum. But this was. I received this yesterday. So, but then again, look at it. Is this not what they ought to have done before charging me to court?
Exactly.
I have written petitions.
You are saying that they should have addressed your own petitions.
They should have, yeah. They should have addressed it. They should.
Senator Akpabio's petitions.
I agree with her. She wrote a petition of allegations that her life, she's fearful for her life being in danger, and they did not think that was serious. But they took a case of defamation much more serious than a petition of life in danger. Make it make sense. Larry Badmus, go and sit down. You are late. Maybe you should go and start the show. Go and watch the big video from the beginning, okay? And then you understand. I don't like to be insultive, but your comments is actually irritating right now. I'm sorry. But yes, that's how I see you irritated, and you are distracting me.
Yes, they should have. I mean, I was the one who went to the police first. In short, my first petition was when the Senate President stripped me of my security. I did complain to the police that, look, I'm in harm's way, considering the fact that I had quite a violent election, and there has never been a time when the Governor Yahaya Bello has ever given me a chance to breathe. I've always had to sleep with one eye open. So I was like, me being without security has made me quite vulnerable. And if you recall, the day I was suspended, the former Senate President, Ahmed Lawal, did raise that concern and pleaded with the Senate President to allow me retain.
That's why I said that there are some people in the House of Senate who do not have balls. They are just there. They do not agree with what is actually being done to this woman. But they don't freaking have the balls to speak. For the fact that they don't freaking have the balls to speak, they should get the fuck out of the House of Senate, because they are not worthy. They are not worthy at all.
My police officers, but then that was turned down. So I did write to the police. Nothing was done to that. And then there were attacks also to my home in my village, whereby my younger brother traveled home, and they thought I was the one there. So they attacked our home. And that was also on the news. There was an investigation whereby the police command in Kogi visited my home and did affirm that there was indeed an attack. And prior to that, remember the incident where I went home on with the helicopter, which is on the 1st of April? 1st of April. A day to that, which is on the 31st of March, my chief protocol officer in Kogi, Honorable Jude Sule, he was abducted from his home by men in armed uniform, and he was questioned about my movement. He was questioned as to whether I was going to be in Kogi and which route I was going to take, and the man failed to honor them with any response. He was kept for 2 days before dropped at the police station in Okini. It's on record there in Kogi that the man was there. So there were considerable attempts to monitor my movement, track me, hunt me. And like I did mention, there was actually a meeting between Yahaya Bello and Akpabio and the night of the 14th of March.
But guys, if you guys don't agree, if you don't think that she knows what she's saying, I believe she knows what she's saying, because she's been saying this thing over and over and again. And if she does not have an actual proof to confirm what she's saying, she won't keep saying it. She will have chickened out. But she's not chickening out. She's saying it over and over again.
March 2025, where they did plan to assassinate me and to recall me. And when I did call, after that information, I did call a few press houses to tell them that, look, there was going to be a recall And there was also an assassination attempt, but then they asked for written proof before the press could have carried that story. But then there was no written proof, like, you know, like a statement of a recall.
That recall
but then
process
suddenly, after 3 days after that, the recall news broke up. So, yeah.
Okay. These are also like strong allegations, but you are defending yourself.
Exactly. So now I'm going to play the video of Sandra Duru, how she met Sandra Duru. So that'll be the last part of this live stream. I don't want to be here for 20 hours. There's still much more in that live stream. She went on to talk about what Yahaya Bello did to her and stuff like that. I think I will just leave that. Maybe I might do a sit-down video because I've cut that part out. So maybe I might just do a sit-down video to talk about that part. But now let's just go listen to how she met Sandra Duru, okay? And that's the last video. And then I'll take a call so that we round this up to about 2 hours, okay? So let me see. Okay, this is a video for Sandra Duru, and I think that Sandra Duru one is
Let's move to Sandra Duru.
So I don't know how many minutes this is. So we're going to do this. Exactly. I don't want to be here for 20 hours because I've got work tomorrow, and I need to get my beauty sleep. You know, I want to keep looking young. So this is a part that we're going to finish. We're going to listen to this, and then I'll take a couple of calls, and then we'll round it up. Okay, guys, there's 82 of you watching me. Please kindly take the like to about 50. Kindly take the like to about 50. Even me that I'm talking now, I was watching Uncle Beno yesterday. I don't know if Uncle Beno is still here. I was about to say this Sandra Duru will come from Uncle Beno. And yes, this video as well that I'm doing now, I also get to Sandra Duru and she might come for me, but we gallant here. Okay. So this is where Senator Natasha spoke about how she met Sandra Duru, not met, how they started talking, what transpired, you know, deleting or not deleting, whatever. So guys, listen, so I can sip on my cocktail.
And in talking about Sandra Duru, the most important thing that Nigerians would like to know, myself included,
me too.
First and foremost, did you speak with Sandra Duru? Did you guys speak? Like, what's going on? Let's start from there.
Exactly.
Thanks a lot, Adeola. I know this is the most desired question, and everybody watching the all ears now. Yes. Thanks for giving me this opportunity. I would say that,
guys, please
categorically, I did not speak with Dr. Sandra Duru, but I did speak with Professor Mgbeke as she presented herself. And let me take you back.
It's the same person.
I got to know that it's one and the same person after her broadcast. Let me take you back. And I have, if you don't mind, the screenshot of the entire chat. If you don't mind putting that up so that I can speak to it.
You sent me a screenshot of your chat with her.
There's a lot of screenshots.
But I'm also trying to make sure that the address of what's it called? Hold on. I just want to make sure that no
psychology. And I was like, oh, to myself,
I'm trying to forward that section because of the waiting and talking.
To believe people on the face value of what they present themselves to be. If she says she's a professor, okay, she's a professor. I mean, I supposed to know that she is Professor Mgbeke is just a moniker. It's just a decoy of who she truly is. And yeah, she did say she was a professor of psychology. And I was like, oh, to myself, this is who I am. I ran her through my credentials as well. She said she's affiliated with a number of international organizations, United Nations, WHO, UNICEF for Children, and many others. I was like, okay. She said she was going to use her platform to draw attention on this matter of sexual harassment, and that if I had any other addresses, so that she would also write to them through her organization. I was like, okay, so while we're on the call, if you can publish that I think it's important I speak to the chat messages. So that was when I did send to her the first two contacts, which is the Senate President's counterpart in London and the Speaker of the Commonwealth, that, okay, while you're writing to your United Nations and other international organizations, you can also
those organizations, I wasn't able to block their address. Is that okay with you?
Maybe just okay. So, but how will you? But I want you to put
organizations.
But will you put the video? I want you to put the remainder of the chat, because if you can't, then maybe you want me to do a screenshot. Maybe you start from.
Sorry, I just uploaded the wrong one. That's not it.
That's one of the posts she had previously written in my support.
Okay, so let me. What's this one? So I'm not able to blur.
But maybe you can skip that part so they will know that an organization that promote women's rights and all of that. So if I had any contacts that she should write to, I should forward. So I said, okay, fine. You can as well draw the attention of the Speaker of the UK Parliament and the Commonwealth. That was why I sent that. After all, she told me she had written books, and that these books would also speak to the situation at hand. I was like, okay, she sent me this forward. It's only later on in the course of things I got to know that the books she says she's written are also AI written books. But anyway, that's for her to decide or whatever. So just scroll down a bit.
Okay, so we can just say it.
These are our own.
Yeah, so after that, in the course of our conversation, that was me sending to her the
qualifications, whatever.
I think that was a letter during the return. My return, that was the document, the letter, the Kogi Central Political Frontier. We did speak about that. So I told her that, look, this does not exist. We run a C.
So this was where I said, you know, you're meeting somebody, you're talking on the phone. Why are you sending your documentations? You all just need introduction. Yes, I'm Senator Natasha Akpabio, Akpoti-Uduaghan. This is what I do. That's it. And then whatever support she's drumming for you. And then she says she's a professor. That's it. So why were you sharing your documentations, your certificates, your primary school? Like, why? What's the need of you sharing those things with her? Because I don't see the need of those things. Yes, she might be drumming support for you because, yes, she claimed to have been harassed before. And she also claimed that her daughters also have been harassed before. So you guys have like a, you know, working towards a known factor of what we know is happening in Africa, right? So what has you exchanging your personal details, your qualifications, whatever? Why are you exchanging those things with her? For what purpose? That's the only thing I forced Senator Natasha in. Like, it's just like I'm meeting somebody today for the first time, and then I'm sharing all of my certificate from university, from primary school. I'm sharing my marriage certificate. Like, why? What's the need for that? That's the only thing I felt in all of this.
Check and this Kogi Central Political Frontier as a body that was used to recall me did not have a legal bearing because it was not registered. So that was what we spoke about. Mind you, it was on the phone, so we're kind of communicating through that. I'm just letting you know the nature of the conversation. So you see that it does not, what she's saying that I said does not even add up at all. That also, I can forward to you what that was, is my petition, my lawyer's petition to INEC. That was what I sent there. So later on, she did say that she had a message. She reached out to my friend, Ina Okoli, that she didn't want to speak to him on blah, 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 that she was an independent person pursuing justice. I didn't really understand where this came from because at that point we had finished talking. So I didn't, so when she said that, I didn't really understand that. So I think I tried to call her, but she didn't pick up. You can scroll down to see.
She was too quick to trust and open
up. Please play it for them.
Abby,
no, I'm not, just let it run.
With Samuel today.
Yeah, you can see that. I didn't really understand where that my friend stopped. So here, also part of the conversations we had. Now, please pause here. Part of the conversations we had was the manner in which Senator Mgbeke went all out, castigating me and demeaning me on all the news platforms. So at that point, I told her that I didn't like the fact that I am constantly being reduced and objectified as just a beautiful woman or
it's more,
you know, a pretty face. That I would like people to look at me as a technocrat, a woman who is well-schooled, who is competent, who is a senator.
Exactly.
That when men are conversing, men don't go, oh, I'm going to engage you because you are well-built. I'm going to engage you because you're handsome. Men don't do that. So if you're speaking to me as a lawyer, as an MBA executive, as a senator, speak to me on my competences and not because I'm beautiful. So that was where she now said, oh, you are a lawyer? And I was like, yes, of course. I ran her through. I'm a lawyer. I have my MBA in oil and gas management. My formative years in my career were spent in the oil and gas sector. So I did run her through that. So at that point, she said, she's impressed. That do I have my credentials? I said, yes, I do have my credentials, which I already made public in the year 2019. And it's actually in the media space. She said I should please forward my credentials to her, together with this screenshot from News Central Instagram page, that she was going to make a post along the line of identifying a woman on competences and not a pretty face. So that was where I sent this. And if you look at it, there are 15 items. Just scroll up again so that people will see. All of this, which...
So Mgbeke claimed that all those things that was deleted were evidences. But Senator Natasha said they were not evidences to anything. They were our personal documents that she sent. Obviously, you heard where she say, oh, I'm a lawyer, that Sandra say, oh, send me this, send me that. So our personal informations, our documentations were all she deleted, not evidences of anything. Meanwhile, Mgbeke, feeling funky, claimed that, oh, she deleted evidences. Our documentations, our certificates, how are they evidences? Well, let's keep listening.
Hold on, just pause there. Yeah, about 15 of them in total. They were all my credentials. They were sent in. I dropped them in at the same time. It's like when you drop pictures or PDF files, they all land at the same time. Yes. Contrary to what she said on her live, that this were when I was chatting her up and offering her 200 million to blackmail Akpabio. That is not true. Nobody can type 15 messages and the same in 1 minute. Exactly. It's not possible. I don't even think AI will do that, however fast and smart it is. So these 15 documents, Adeola, I'm going to forward them to you. You'll see.
So everything came in at 12:40 on my screen.
My own time, 12:40. But if you look at her own message, it was 6:40, I think. If you look at it, because when she did her own, I saw the screenshot. Yes. Remember, she's in Texas. They're like 6 hours behind.
So you're saying that the messages that she said you deleted, you are saying that they were actually your credentials.
My credentials. Look at
That's
them.
What she's saying here. But Mgbeke said there were evidences.
Hold on. So why did you? I'm getting there. Look at them. These are my credentials. There were 15 of them from that's my primary school certificate.
So she said they were
from my primary school certificate.
Not evidence of
my testimonial. This is it.
To defame Akpabio.
My secondary school, Federal Government College, Idoani. You'll see it there. This were University of Abuja, Nigerian Law School, NYSC. CPMLP, that's University of Dundee, Aberdeen, had a program there, and many other.
I mean, the only way to
get
of this will be if they are able to
my MBA,
Mgbeke's phone. I'm sure they'll be able to.
Okay, it's still INSEAD.
They deleted to confirm.
IHRDC in Boston, because I did mention that I have quite a lot of. So I've sent everything to you anyway. It's in your phone right now. But that's what I published. That's it. And you know one thing, the beauty is that I just got back from the US because I was there to also see how we could further some of this, because I really am going to get to the bottom of this. And I'm told that in matters, I believe if WhatsApp is contacted, they can be able to extract this deleted.
Now, guys, if this is somebody who wants to hide what she has deleted, will she even be saying that, oh, she knows that if WhatsApp are contacted, WhatsApp can retrieve? So if she has something to hide, will she even be talking about this? Will she not be saying, oh, since she's deleted it? No! So those of you believing Mgbeke feeling funky, you're now own teaching tita, bo. Una own don't do, pow. That's what I'm going to say.
Items, because they did have it happen on their platform. Exactly. So we're hoping that in the course of the litigations, they'll be able to extract. But I'm just letting Nigerians should just understand that it was in the course of our conversation where she wanted to make a post, putting side by side Senator Nwaboy's statement. You look at it up there where he said, does Natasha think she's one of the most beautiful women in Nigeria? So, and I told her that I didn't like the fact that women are being reduced or objectified. Speak to me
Hello,
as
Rose.
a
Shamaki,
competent
welcome. How are you?
individual,
Long time.
a technocrat. And that was why I told her about my academic, qualifications. And she said, okay, I should forward it. So this were all, that's why they all dropped at the same time. When you drop bulk messages in pictorial forms or PDF or whatever, they land the same time. It's impossible. Yeah, that's it. That's why all of this is what I sent to her. My work, certificates, everything.
These are the documents she said she sent to Mgbeke.
So people may ask, why did you delete the messages?
So let's proceed. So after that, I didn't hear from Sandra. Let's go back to the text messages. Yeah. Okay. Aha. Look at the time. That was 12:40. So then at about, let me go back so I can read from my own space here.
I love that Adiola gave her the platform, because if she went to any news channel,
this is it on my phone. So just to let you know that I want to read it as well from here, since we'll be okay. So this is it from my own phone. That's the screenshot, and then this is where we are here.
So if she were to go to a normal news channel, they won't give her the time.
So now,
so I don't know if you want to read that message.
Then
the message was like saying, I hope this message, it's all there. If you guys want to read, you can always read it back there. But these are the evidences of what, transpired between both of them.
After about 4 hours, she sent this first message asking for a contract and asking how I was going to take care of her and her team.
Can you imagine?
So let me read this.
Let's read it. This is very important. It's important that Nigerians read this, because this is where things got interesting. Mind you, the 37 minutes we spoke had nothing to do with contracts, had nothing to do with.
I hope you guys are
engaging. I never told her there was nothing like sexual harassment, that I'm all set out to destroy Tinubu's Yoruba government, that I called Nigeria gullible and hungry, that I paid Dr. Obiesi Kwisili money to carry on the advocacy, that what did she say? I was going to poison my husband.
You called her useful idiot.
That I called FIDA useful idiot. Never, ever, ever. And I'm actually glad in a way that she is a witness in this federal government suit, because she has to testify on everything. She must provide evidence that is going to be subjected to verification. Because you see, there's a limit. I don't know. I've listened to some of these audios. What she did in a way so funny. Like, apparently the way I'm speaking to you over the on here now sounds differently from when I'm speaking to you in person, or when I grant an interview, or when I speak to you over the phone. So what she probably did was get how I sounded on the phone, of course. And then she released one part where I mentioned about working in brass LNG and all, of course. But then she used some AI to now generate other parts that I didn't speak of. But again, I don't know what else.
And if you're not sure about, if you're confused about this, how this AI stuff entered into it, you need to go to Adeola's channel. That was where the whistleblower 1 and 2, who were working with Mgbeke, said that Mgbeke gave them stuff to alter and do this and do that. So I wanted to come and do that, but it's a lot and I didn't have the time. So you guys can go watch that on Adeola Fayewo's page. She speaks a lot on the things going on in Nigeria, and I must commend her for all of her efforts. Okay, so if you want to know how the AI thingy got into this, so go listen to the 2 whistleblowers on so they're Francis and Obinna. In fact, there's news that they've arrested Obinna now. He's been arrested because, yes, this guy said that he was willing to come out here to cooperate with the authorities to investigate. Tell me why they went to his house to arrest him at 3 o'clock in the morning, when somebody said he's willing, if you invite him, he's willing to cooperate, which is why arrest him, So I just thought I would put that there. So the story of the 2 whistleblowers, their part, that how they were working with Mgbeke, they are on Adeola's channel, so you can go watch it at your leisure when you have the time, okay?
She has in stock, but I'm challenging her. And like I said, I just returned from the US. I'm in London now, but I'm going to be in Nigeria for the arraignment on the 3rd, because I have done no wrong. I'm not going to run away. The 3rd of June has been fixed 2 p.m. So I'm going to be there to defend myself fully in person.
As you should.
But also, I am going to, I'm letting Nigerians know that this is not going to go down this easy, because people can't wake up one day and just cook up stories and manipulate and use whatever technology they think they can access just to defend the person. No, I'm saying it clearly now before the world. I never said there was no sexual harassment. I never said I'm out to destroy Tinubu's Yoruba government. I'm not one. People who know me will know that I am not a tribalist, and I respect and appreciate every tribe in Nigeria, every ethnicity. I mean, who am I? I'm half Ukrainian, half Nigerian. Who am I to talk about tribes when I'm actually one part of the other world? So that's not my nature. That's not my language. And if anybody said that, that's probably her team. The people who are sponsors were the ones that put those words to her, because they knew that I had and I enjoyed a lot of support from Nigerians, not just in Kogi State, across the country, even in diaspora. So, and he also knows, the Senate president also knows that I enjoyed to a large extent a good relationship with the president himself, even though I have never said it in the open. But I'm saying it now. And that actually annoyed him, because there was a time that the Senate president told my husband, I was like, are you aware your wife goes to see the president? And my husband was like, yes, I'm aware. Whenever she has critical issues to raise, like before I brought up the Jakarta's probe, I did meet with Mr. President to make sure that he knew the nature of that and was okay with it. So, and other things I have met in person. So I do not have a hostile relationship with the president, even though I'm in opposition. I keep telling people, the people of Kogi Central voted me to work as a senator, not to go out there, antagonize and create enmity. And neither is also important for me, people to know that my issues are with the Senate president himself, not the Nigerian Senate, not the institutions, and not the presidency. But it's unfortunate that he's wielding things to entrap all the institutions to attack me. But like I said, it's important. I'm glad you've given me this chance to tender things. But let's go back to the text now. What for? The people want to know, why did I delete my credentials from her page? Exactly. So let's go back. The message she wrote there, after 4 hours of our conversation, she went, "Dear Senator Natasha, I hope this message finds you well." No, please go back. No, still scroll up. Yeah. "I hope this message finds you well. I would like to understand how you would like me to proceed in assisting with your case," mind you, the sexual harassment case, "including the specific outcomes you intend to achieve and the timeline you have in mind. Additionally, please let me know if you would like to formally engage my services or support my team in executing the strategy we have carefully put together to resolve this matter effectively." Now, Nigerians should pause and listen. Just let's think. If actually she said that what I deleted was me offering her 200 million to blackmail the Senate president, why is she talking about resolving this matter effectively? Or was she, if I had castigated the presidency, talked about destroying the Yoruba tribe or the Yoruba government, then subsequent messages from her should have been in tune of what we had discussed. But here she's presenting herself as a mediator. She wanted to assume a role of mediating between the Senate president and myself on sexual harassment. And then she was asking for a contract. Please, let's continue.
Asking for a contract. What services has she got to offer? What does
further, in the second paragraph, asking for a contract. Please feel free to speak with me confidentially.
What services does she offer?
I value discretion and professionalism. I would prefer to handle matters directly rather than through intermediaries. I don't know who the intermediaries are. Maybe my friend who introduced us. For this reason, I have not shared any details with the individual who contacted me regarding a media appearance on your behalf. I approach cases differently, maintaining strict boundaries to ensure the best possible outcome. Let me know how you would like to proceed. I am here to support you. Please, can you scroll down?
But Natasha thought
She
she
wrote
should
all nice. Let people see the last part.
She now changed minds.
I'm here to support you. Just pause there. If actually I called her and I was poaching her to bring down the government, to destroy people, to destroy the Senate president, I've called Nigerians gullible and hungry. So why was she being patronizing and nice? Let's think. But when I saw that, okay, it was after the second, I wasn't by phone there, so she continued. After like an hour, she continued, would you be open to a closed-door negotiation involving you, your husband, and Senator Akpabio to bring a resolution to this matter if it comes to that? If so, where would you prefer such a meeting to take place? Sometimes strategic negotiations are necessary to untangle complex situations. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. She was still pushing me, presenting herself as a mediator, as all of that. Mind you, she has told me she's a professor of psychology or human psychology. So I know that had the word psychology or sociology. I know she was a professor of one of them. So at that point, I paused and I called my friend before responding to her. I called Ina. And I said, Ina, she mentioned something about a contract. Is that did you have that conversation with her? He said no, that he only told her that I was going to call her to appreciate her and have like a girly chat.
So girly chat turned into,
and I was like, okay, but she's asking for a contract. And she's asking how I was going to support her team. And I was like, okay. He said I should ignore that he never met. I said, but did you ask her about a media appearance? He said, yeah, because she was writing so well. So he thought she might want to appear on a TV station, maybe channels or AIT or Arise, and speak about her concerns because she had written previously that she was also a victim of sexual harassment and her daughter also. So maybe she wanted to learn the vote. That was all. He didn't ask that it's going to be paid or anything. So that was where I now responded. Please just show my response. You can see I refer to her as dear professor, not just Sandra or something. I thought I was speaking to a professor.
Professor
here, I responded, dear professor, I have had to read your message times over.
I believe
and
you.
I am not comfortable going contractual. My friend Ina probably connected with you on the passion he saw you speak against the injustice meted against me. While I continue to count on your kindness, which I trust will, amidst others, snowball into justice for women everywhere. However, if you stop chatting our cause, know I still deeply appreciate your sisterhood spirit, and whenever I return to the Senate or wherever I find myself, know you have a friend and a cheerleader in me, love. That's to show you. From this, I made her understand that I wasn't going into any contract. I only called her to appreciate her because of what she's been doing. And our conversation was not in any way
contractual
in furtherance of an activity, not to talk of an illicit activity. From here, you can tell. And mind you, I have downloaded all of this whole conversation, and I've sent it in a digital form as well as printed these messages to all the security agencies in Nigeria. I'm actually surprised. That's why I say that the police never looked into this. Instead, they are listing her as a witness against me over a criminal defamation, someone that was pushing me for.
So a Senate member put all of this in as something that the police should investigate. They did not take it serious. But Mgbeke, from who had a case with DSSO, came out, sprung out from nowhere, saying she has proof, and then they are taking up our own case, and then like make it make sense. Who knows Mgbeke before she come out for Nigeria or after she come out for Nigeria? How did she even come out? So Senator Natasha stated all of these things that the police should investigate. They did not, but Mgbeke brought her own. Because obviously, you know what, guys, let's keep listening.
A contract that I said no. I'm actually surprised the Senate president fell for this scam, because he would have been smart enough to say, no, you know what, I'm not in. Because at the end of the day, I didn't think there was a reason for me to pay anybody. Everybody who has spoken, I never paid anybody anything to speak up. I've watched people across our platform, even people from Labour Party, even many APC members themselves who stood up and say, you know what, they are APC, but they stand for Natasha against sexual harassment. I didn't have to pay anybody. So let's continue. Go back again. So you can see from here, I clearly told her that while I'll continue counting, that I wasn't ready to engage her contractually, that I would trust that she will continue advocating. But even if she stops because there's no contract, it is fine. I appreciate what she's done before, and she should know that I have the sisterhood bond with her. But that didn't go down well with Sandra.
Exactly.
Sandra, she is now Professor Mgbeke, as I thought she was. So she continued, "Dear Senator, I appreciate your message and the sincerity behind it. Let me make one thing absolute clear. There is nothing contractual or monetary about officially engaging me to handle what I have already been doing voluntarily. Please explain that to me as a lawyer."
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. Explain that to me. At that point, she's trying to wind my intelligence. No, still go back. Okay, I'm trying to wind my intelligence that I should go ahead, that engaging her in writing contractually does not amount to monetary. And I'm so glad I didn't do that, because I bet you, even if I had said, I'm trying to understand the nature of the contract. Dear Professor Mgbeke, I engage you to mediate in me and blah, blah, blah. This lady would have slapped me with a bill of $500,000 or $1 million. Only God knows if she had that. But immediately I sensed it when she was playing that a contract everybody knows a contract will amount to remuneration at the end of the day.
Yes.
So here she said, there is nothing contractual or monetary about officially engaging me to handle what I've already been doing voluntarily without even needing to discuss it with you first. My work in addressing injustice has never been about personal gains, but about clarity, coordination, and commitment to the cause. Formalizing an engagement is not about transactions. It's about ensuring proper communication, alignment, and efficiency in tackling the very issues we are fighting. Again, you will see, this is the woman who came up to say, my deleted messages were all about destroying the government, destroying the Senate president, doing all of those things. Nigerians, I know we're very smart people. You can tell here that if indeed I spoke to her about paying people, or about destroying the government, or about or offering her 200 million to blackmail the Senate president into some murder, you would have seen that in the conversation. But here she was putting herself as a mediator, seeking an engagement for her to continue what she said she has been doing voluntarily. And what was she doing voluntarily prior to this was advocating for women against sexual harassment. Exactly. So our conversation was on sexual harassment, and never did I tell her there was no sexual harassment. So that's it. Again, she said, regardless of where this part leads, that's the last paragraph. Okay, no. Hold on. Before then, I skipped one part. I respect your stance, even if I believe that a structured approach would have made things smoother and more effective. That said, I will continue to do what I'm known for, standing against injustice and misinformation, adhering to facts, and maneuvering sensitive matters with a critical but fair lens. My stance is independent, and I take full responsibility for my...
Guys, I think I'm going to call it a day here. We've been here for at least 2 hours. I'm actually missing my night prayer now. So, guys, this is where I'm going to draw the curtain. As it is, whatever Mgbeke has been saying, I'm still rooting behind Senator Natasha Akpoti. I am rooting behind her, and I don't care. We all don't have to agree. But in this instance, it's obviously clear what they're trying to do to this woman. This is all political. They want her out. She's not bringing them money the way they expect her to bring them money. So they want her out. I pray she gets, good judge. I pray this case goes in her favor. I pray this case goes in her favor. But if it doesn't, at least she has tried her best. She has tried her best to speak her truth. And like I said, she's a well-made woman. She is well-made. She's not looking for money. How much money is Akpabio going to pay her that will make her much more than what she's already standing for? She already got herself into the House of Senate representing her people. What more would Akpabio give her that would not make that people not say, oh, she's lying? And don't get me wrong, I understand that there have been cases in the past where some women are falsely accused on men. But then, like I've said from the beginning, this is a learned woman, a lawyer, person wey sabi law, person wey sabi office, just like me being a nurse. And I know that I can't give a quick acting painkiller IV with a quick acting tablet. It's either I finish one quick acting IV medication, finish that one before I can now consider a quick acting, medication together, that so that they will not contradict each other. I know as a nurse not to give two medications that could contradict each other if being given at the same time. So why would I want to give two contradicting medication to a patient when I know it could potentially kill them or they could suffer health complications? Why would I want to give myself that trouble? It's just the same as Senator Natasha. She's a lawyer. She's representing her people. Is it that she does not want to be in the House of Senate anymore, that she decided that, okay, I'm just going to be unruly, I will say this happened so they can send me away? No. So I'm going to read your comment, guys, and I'm going to round up. I don't think I'll be able to take any call tonight. But if you guys want us to continue this case, if you want us to continue this, all this, analyzing, we can do a part 2 at some point during the course of the week. But I think there's going to be a part 2 anyway, because they are going to court on Tuesday. So for those of you who are asking about courts, they are going to court on Tuesday. So we'll bring everything. We'll bring the conclusion of this reaction of this interview. We'll bring the conclusion on Wednesday after the courts. We'll do another live stream and we'll discuss about it. So let me read your comment and then I'll round up, guys. I've been here for 2 hours. Like, my back is already sore from sitting here. So Howard said, if she had a good intention regarding this issue, she would have gone ahead to help without even interacting with Senator. Exactly. Let's keep her in our prayers. Okay, if you say so. Abby said, how can we take someone with such a surname seriously? If you know, you know. Abby, we know. Abby says, don't worry. All of this will jam everyone in front regardless. No wala. Exactly. I agree with you. I'm reading your comment, guys, and then I'm going to round up. What's crazy? Akpabio is known for this, and I don't know why some Nigerians are like they are falling behind him. He just want to do this. And the annoying thing is the fact that all of his children are female, all of his children are women. But then nobody dares cross his daughters because yes, he's a powerful man. If anybody misbehave, he's going to allegedly show them. This is not the first time we are reading of Akpabio. This is not the first time. I think there was another lady who was saying, so I can't remember. I remember watching her video. So I can't really remember what she actually said, but she also kind of like slightly mentioned Akpabio. Yes, she did. Everyone's lost that they have. Anyway, guys, I am going to round up this live stream. Like I said, we have been here for 2 hours already. And I want, like when I do live streams, I want people to be able to watch back and drop their thoughts and opinions. So we are going to call the curtain. We're going to put the curtain here. They're going to court on the 3rd. And I'm hoping that, she will be safe, that people will go there, listen to the case as it is. There's no mago. Let this case be fair. Let it be here and be fair. That's just all we're asking for. And allow her go back to representing our people, because she's in that Senate house to represent our people and not for our own selfish reasons. Because nowadays people in politics, they are in politics for their own selfish reasons. Anyway, guys, this is the end of this live stream. I want to say thank you so much, each and every of you who have been here. 94 of you watching. At some point, we had 110 people. Please kindly take the like to 50. We still have like 34 likes. Guys, is it that now because you don't like me where they talk about this case, that's why you don't want like? Why are you being stingy with the like? Why are you being stingy? And please do me a favor, share this live stream as well. Share this live stream, because if I hear anything again, I'm definitely going to be coming back here. Hopefully, there's going to be a live stream on maybe Wednesday night. So I'm working Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and I'm off after Wednesday for 11 days. So we're going to be doing back-to-back live stream. God give me strength. With that being said, thank you so much, guys. Have an amazing Sunday night and have an amazing week ahead of you. And I hope that all of our dreams will be achieved as we enter this new week. And yes, don't forget to join my membership. And guys, I don't know why you guys are not starting me. This is just a cocktail. So join my membership, and it's just a way of you supporting my channel to say that Mama 5, you're doing great. Subscribe, share this video, turn on your post notifications so you don't miss any other videos from me. And yeah, thank you so much, my able admin Abby. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you, baby sis. And I think I saw Natu earlier on. So Natu is one of my member on this channel, and Abby is also one of my members. My membership is cheap. I think the cheapest is £4.99 a month or something. So with that being said, we have a live stream also. I think that live stream, I think it's going to be on Wednesday, where I'm going to be discussing all about my weight loss. I'm going to be discussing all about my weight loss. Yes, because your favorite people, they are telling you lies, but me, there's no need to tell lies about it. I'm going to be discussing a few things where I get my $2.99 is the cheapest one. Thank you, Abby. Where I get my medical weight loss from. It's more this live stream about my weight loss is mostly going to be beneficial to those who are in the UK, but because due to the fact that what I use for my weight loss is only being sold in the UK right now, and yes, I have a place where I get mine from, and I'm going to be sharing that place on that live stream. I won't be mentioning the name of the place where I got mine from, reason being that they've changed their laws on how you share such information. So on that live stream, I'm going to be saying that if you want me to share details of where I get my stuff from and also help you save some money as well, I will ask you to send me a DM on my Instagram. That way I'll send you a link and then some money off coupon. That way, So yes, so far I have lost 25 kg and now I am stopping, okay? But I need to stop gradually. And guys, if I show you, like I'm hot. I am hot. This top that I'm wearing here, the last time I wore it was 4 years ago. It was from Zara. I am hot. And I'm sure you will have seen from my pictures on Instagram, on TikTok, Anyway, guys, let me go. If you're interested in losing weight, if you're in the UK and you're interested in losing weight the way I have done, join that live stream. Okay? And I shall see you all later. Abby says, Wala, 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 wala. Wow, in him, that's a big one. That's a big one. And also, I want to write a PDF on how I intending on maintaining this weight loss. I want to write a PDF. So I just need to find time to sit down. Like, I need to change this laptop. Maybe when I make money, I'll be able to buy another laptop. And I want an Apple laptop, actually. This one has been 4 years now, but it's starting to do one kind. So I want to buy a new laptop. So once I'm able to buy a new laptop, get some Office, Microsoft Office, so that I'll be able to do it. So I want to do a weight loss, a plan on how I'm going to be maintaining my weight loss, and I'm going to be selling that plan. And this plan is going to involve still eating Nigerian food and all of those stuff. So it's not as if you're going to be depriving yourself of the Yorkshire fries or anything like that. So once I get to that stage of sharing with you, I'll let you know on how. So it's going to be like a digital something that you can buy and you can download. So I'm working on it. Okay. So yes, I'm working on it. But this particular one, how I lost my weight, it's not cheap. It's not cheap. And you guys all know health is wealth. Okay. So I'm going to do that live stream. And then if you guys are interested on where I get my stuff from, I'll ask you to send me a DM. And when you send me a DM, I'll send you the link and also give you a money off code on how to get money off your first purchase. And if you want to continue with them, nothing comes cheap. Okay. Nothing comes cheap. Okay. Nothing comes cheap. With that being said, thank you so much, guys. And I shall see you all at some point in the course of the week. I don't think I've got a live stream for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, but there's going to be a sit down video on Tuesday, I think. So guys, please gravitate towards that video, and I'll see you guys at some point. All right, bye everybody. Bye. Live stream is not wanting to handle. Okay.